In this video, I'd like to cover dealing with blog posts, and that is going to cover a number of topics. One is adding blog categories, and then adding a blog post, and finally creating a blog page. So if you're looking at how to add text and format a blog post and all of that, I covered that in adding a page video, where I go through the text, the images, and hyperlinking within adding the content. In this, I just want to give you an understanding of dealing with blog posts generally. So here we are. If you're going to set up categories, you go to your posts and categories. And right now, I'm not setting up a blog on this site. I'm doing all pages. But if I wanted to, I would just create a new category, and the slug will autofill. You could put a description if you like, and then you do an add category, and then it's done. Now what we want to do is we want to add a post, and we'll go there. Really, the difference between posts and pages are static. Posts are not static in that if you're running a blog, your latest content will show up at somewhere in your blog, depending how you format it. Generally, it's going to show up at the top. And what you can do is you can have a bunch of static pages like I do on this site. You can see here, as this site is under development, and don't worry, I'll show you, especially on the home page, I've done a little bit of development, but my videos will cover that. And basically it's a static page, but we could create a separate blog on this website if I wanted to. I'm not going to, but I will for the sake of the videos, because you might want that on your in your website. So here we are. Let's just add some quick content. So as you can see, if you're wondering how to deal with all this stuff here with formatting and heading tags and tables and images and creating links, just watch the add pages video, and I go through all that. What we have here, and then you put in your title of your blog, and this is different compared to the pages. Is now, instead of having the option to pick a parent page, we're dealing with categories. So we can assign a blog post to a category, and then you can assign a number of blog posts to one category and a number to another category, and so forth. What you can also do is add tags, and that's just another way to, it's another form of what's called a taxonomy, or another way to basically organize your content. So let's say you are a real estate agent, you have a big website with a blog, and you're going to have categories for buyers and a category for sellers. And then what you could do is you could have tags, and you could tag it for buyers. Let's say you have a blog post about buyers in a neighborhood of San Francisco. You could tag that with that neighborhood. So that would just be an example. So it just gives you other options for organizing the way people can find your content. And you can put all your tags. You notice how some blogs will have those big tag clouds. You can place that right in your sidebar, and people can then navigate using tags in addition to or instead of categories. So we'll assign this to our test. We have our same SEO setting options there. Again, you can no index, no archive, and no follow if you prefer to just keep this page away from the search engines. Put your title in there, and then you hit publish. And we'll do that briefly here on this page, because the next step what we're going to want to do is show you how to actually add a blog page. Because if you're building a business website, chances are your home page is going to be a static home page, and you can have other static pages on there like your about and your services and whatever else. But then if you do have a blog, you want to create a blog link. You can put it right up here, link to the blog, or anywhere, reader blog. So what we want to do is we want to create a separate blog page. So we go to our pages now. We're creating a page template. Now most themes, free and paid, are going to have the same option. So what we want to do is we want to just call this blog. We're not going to put in any content in here. What we're going to do is we're going to choose a template. And the default template is your standard page, but this is most themes are going to give you what's called a blog template. And what that's going to do is it's going to create a blog page where all our series of posts are going to show up. And so we've done that. You could put in SEO information for your blog page if you like. And we call it a blog. Let's go on default blog 2. I think I may have already created a blog page and deleted it. So now we will publish this. And the final part of this video, we'll see if this will create our blog page. I just copied the URL there. All right, there it is. Here's a draft. No, actually, this is my slideshow. I no index this, but it's showing up. This is where I put the image for the slideshow on the home page to pull from. So that's it. That could be a blog post, and then here's a blog post. And every theme is going to be a little bit different how it's done, but you can typically dictate, and you can look for this, how many characters are going to show up. So you can have the full blog post display here, and then you have, read older or previous posts button down here, and just keep scrolling along as you add more posts. So you can have maybe, like 200 characters, so it's just an excerpt, or you can have the full blog post. So each theme will let you direct that, and then you get your the details about when the post was published and so forth. And then you could put a link to this URL here or whatever. In another video, I cover the menus and navigation in depth, so you can watch that to see how that's done. So anyway, that's setting up our blog. That's our blog. That would be our blog page, and you would be all set to go there.